Jack and his mother lived in a small cottage. They were very poor. Their only possession of value was a good, strong cow named Milky White. One morning, Jack's mother spoke. "We have no food. Take Milky White to market. Sell her for a good price." Jack nodded. He walked the cow down the dusty road. He thought of the meager coins they would receive. A strange old man met Jack on the path. He wore a patched coat and smiled a wide, toothless grin. "Hello, young man," the stranger said. "Where are you taking that fine cow?" "To market," Jack replied. "I will sell her. I have something much better than coins," the stranger whispered. He held out 5 small smooth beans. They shimmered with odd colors. "These are magic beans. Plant them tonight, and you will wake to a fortune." Jack felt a quick thrill of wonder. He traded Milky White for the 5 beans. He hurried home, excited to share his incredible deal. Jack's mother saw the beans. She grew furious. "Magic beans. We needed food, not nonsense." She threw the beans out the window. They landed in the soft dirt below. She sent Jack to bed without supper. The small cottage was silent with their hunger and disappointment. Jack awoke. The morning sun streamed through the window. A deep shadow fell across his bed. He looked out. A massive beanstalk had grown overnight. It towered high above the clouds. The thick stalk twisted up like a green spiral staircase. Jack dressed quickly. He knew he must climb. He grabbed a small satchel and started his long ascent. He climbed for hours. The air grew cold. He pushed past the misty white clouds. Finally he saw it. Huge land sat on the clouds. A stone road led to a massive castle. The castle walls were gray, rough-cut stone. Jack walked toward the heavy, iron-studded door. He was a small, quiet shadow on the wide, desolate landscape. He lifted his hand and knocked. The sound echoed like a twig snapping in a forest. The huge door creaked open. A woman stood in the doorway. She was a giantess, taller than any tree Jack had ever seen. She wore a simple, woven dress. Her face looked kind, but her eyes held a trace of sadness. "What do you want, small scrap of a boy?" she asked. Her voice sounded like wind rushing through a canyon. Jack swallowed. "I am hungry. Could you spare some bread?" The giantess looked down. She smiled a soft, tired smile. "You are bold to climb here, tiny human. My husband is a giant. He is cruel. He dines on humans, little snippets like yourself, whenever he can catch them. He is not kind like me. He has a nose for tiny humans like yourself, a terrible nose. And he has a terrible temper too. Oh, he would eat you up in a trice, bones and all, if he found you here. I couldn't bear the thought of what my husband would do if he found you." Jack's blood ran cold. He had heard tales of giants, of course, but always thought them mere fancy. To hear it from the mouth of a real giantess, one who was being so kind, was a different matter entirely. The giantess's expression grew more urgent. She stepped back. "Come in quickly. I will hide you. There is only one place I can think of, Jack, where you would truly be safe from his fearsome gaze, and from his terrible hunger." Jack rushed inside the enormous hall. The furniture was the size of small houses. He looked around the enormous room, searching for a hidden cupboard, a secret passage, anything at all. But there was nothing. The giantess set him near a huge wooden table. She brought him a large slice of bread and a massive cup of milk. He ate quickly. A heavy thump-thump-thump shook the castle floor. The giantess's eyes widened with alarm. "He is home," she whispered, her voice low and urgent. "You must hide now. Come now, dear Jack. You must be quick. Climb into my mouth, and I shall swallow you whole. It is the only way." Jack stared at her mouth, opening with his own mouth opened wide in shock. Into her mouth. To be swallowed. The very thought sent a terror down his spine. It was the stuff of nightmares. "Be but, ma'am," Jack cried, backing away. Swallowed. Won't that? Suddenly the heavy thumping sound got deeper and closer, rattling the very floorboards beneath them. The giantess's face was starting to show frightening alarm. Goodness gracious! He's early. That's his heavy tread, Jack. There's no time to run, no time to hide behind a curtain or under a chair. He'd sniff you out in an instant, quick as a flash. Another thump, closer this time, shook the air. Oh, hurry, hurry, little Jack, the giantess urged frantically. She lowered her head, bending her neck so that her face was closer to him. Her enormous lips started to part. Do not fear. My stomach is a most comfortable place. It is warm and soft. And quite dark too, so you might rest until the danger has passed. 'Twill be our secret, you and I. No harm shall come to you there. Not a single hair on your head, I promise you. Jack, caught between the terror of being swallowed and the dread of the approaching giant, had little choice. The thumping grew louder and closer. He peered into the giantess's mouth and imagined it leading into absolute darkness. Her breath was surprisingly sweet and warm. Jack debated climbing onto her tongue, as it wiggled an inviting wave at him. Jack took a deep breath, remembering the cold, hard reality of his hunger, and then he scrambled forward. He ran across the giantess's lower lip and reached the edge of her teeth. They were smooth, allowing him to scale the gentle incline of one of them. He pulled himself over the tooth and landed on her soft, cushiony tongue. Immediately his clothes started to soil from the wetness of the giantess's saliva, but her mouth was so warm he felt comforted. Jack felt a strange combination of fear and awe. The giantess watched his progress. That's it, little Jack, she said. You brave, brave boy. Another thump, thump, thump. The massive door began to creak. Quickly, Jack. He's at the door. Are you ready for me to swallow you yet? The giantess spoke with urgency. Jack hurried away from the terrifying sounds and prepared himself to be swallowed by the giantess. Then, with a gentle wave, her tongue began to move. It rippled him closer toward the back of her throat, like an enormous, fleshy carpet rolling up. Jack felt himself being lifted, cradled, and then slowly drawn backward. He saw the last of the light fade away as he slid down her throat. He watched the light get replaced by a growing darkness. He felt himself sliding, not falling, but gliding smoothly down like a slide. He tucked his knees to his chest and wrapped his arms around himself, like a small, helpless bundle as the thumping sound grew farther and farther away. At least he felt safe. The giantess had promised comfort, and comfort was what he found. The journey did not take very long. It was only a few moments, but to Jack it felt like an eternity. Jack became so wet and slimy from the giantess's saliva. He couldn't tell if he was moving or not anymore. His butt landed on a squishy floor right as the giantess belched out a loud burp of air. Jack rose up from the pressure of the air for just a moment, before landing back down into her stomach floor, and then he realized was no longer sliding. The darkness was warm. He was in her stomach, just as she had said. He could feel the contractions of the stomach muscle around him. There was a quiet gurgle and then a gentle sloshing sound. The sloshing felt so soothing. He closed his eyes and felt the liquids envelop him in warmth before washing away to a cool breeze. For just a moment, he worried he might be digested, but the gentle sloshing liquids held him in such a soft space, it made his worries fade into the gurgling darkness. Instead, they were replaced with a feeling of awe and relief. Moments later, a deafening crash shook the entire castle. Fee! Fi! Fo! Fuum! I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. The giant's voice boomed through the stone ceiling. Fee! Fi! Fo! I smell the blood of an Englishman. The giantess spoke back. Nonsense, dear husband. It is the raw meat I prepared for your supper. Her voice sounded calm, strong. Jack held his breath. He heard the giant sigh. He heard the clatter of a heavy fork on a plate. After a long time the sound stopped. Jack heard the deep snoring of a giant. "He sleeps now," the giantess said. "He sleeps soundly after a heavy meal. Why don't you come out of my stomach now and get washed up?" Jack slowly climbed his way out of her mouth and took a peek at the giantess's husband. He saw the giant slumped asleep at the table. On the table beside his hand was a small sack. It was filled with gold coins. "He will not miss them," the giantess said. "Take them. Go back home. Never climb this stalk again." Jack gathered the sack of gold. It was heavy. He thanked the kind giantess. He hurried out the door and found the beanstalk. He climbed down. The setting sun cast long shadows. He reached his cottage. He and his mother rejoiced at the sight of the gold. They paid their debts. They bought food. They lived comfortably for many months. The gold did not last forever. Jack's mother sighed. "We are nearly out of money again. You must do something." Jack felt shame. He remembered the giant's castle. He felt a sharp tug of guilt. He also felt the pull of adventure and the sweet thought of more wealth. One morning, Jack climbed the stalk again. Took longer this time. He was older, heavier. He reached the cloudy land. He walked to the castle door. He knocked once more. The giantess opened the door. She looked sadder than before. She recognized Jack. "You returned. I told you not to come back," she scolded softly. "My husband will be furious if he finds a tiny human here." "I am sorry," Jack said. "But we are poor again. I need help." She sighed deeply. "You remind me of a small boy I once knew. I cannot turn you away." She gave him food. He ate quickly. The familiar thump 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 returned. The giant was home. "Hurry! Into my mouth now," she commanded. Jack rushed to the edge of the giantess's lips. He pulled her lower lip back and slid down into the cool, dark tunnel of her throat again. He pressed himself against the back wall to slide down faster. The giant's great voice roared. "Fee! Fi! Fo! I smell the blood of an Englishman. I smell him, wife, I tell you." The giantess chuckled a forced laugh. "You have been drinking too much ale. You smell the roast, not a human. You smell your supper." The giant grumbled. Jack heard him sit down heavily. "Bring out my goose," the giant demanded. The giantess brought a handsome goose to the table. The giant roared at the bird. "Lay!" The goose fluttered its wings once. A golden egg appeared on the table. It shone brightly in the dim hall. The giant laughed, a rough, booming sound. He ate his supper and watched the goose lay several more golden eggs. Jack waited. The thunderous snores began again. The giantess opened her mouth once again, and Jack climbed out. He moved quickly. He scooped up the goose, tucked it under his arm. "The goose is wonderful," the giantess whispered. "But you cannot come back. If he finds you a third time, he will tear this castle apart." Her kind eyes held a serious warning. Jack felt a surge of respect for the giantess. She risked everything for him. "Thank you, friend," Jack whispered. He left the castle. The goose felt warm under his arm. He climbed down the beanstalk. He reached the cottage. His mother stared at the goose. The goose laid a golden egg on the floor. "A golden egg!" Jack's mother gasped. "We are rich forever." The goose laid an egg every day. They sold the gold. They bought a new cottage. They bought fine clothes. The whole village talked about their incredible luck. Jack grew restless. He felt a deep longing for one last adventure. He knew he should not go back. He remembered the giantess's fearful face. But the draw of the high, cloudy land was too strong. Jack climbed the beanstalk a third time. He reached the top. The castle felt different this time around. He knocked on the door. The giantess answered. Her face was grim. Her voice was sharp. "You are unforgivable, Jack. He suspects me now. He watches me. You risked both our lives." "I know," Jack pleaded. "This is the last time. I promise." She led him inside. She fed him a small bowl of porridge. His hands shook with fear and greed. The giant's arrival was sudden. The ground trembled violently. Fee, fi, fo, fuum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. The giant was louder, angrier this time. Wife, I know you hide him. I will find him and grind his bones. The giantess acted fast. She pointed at her opened lips once more. Jack scrambled into her mouth. He flattened himself against the wet walls of her throat to slide down faster once again. The giant stormed into the hall. He searched. He tore open closets. He flipped over a bench. There is no one here, dear, the giantess said. You are frightened by shadows. The giant stopped. Bring my golden harp, he commanded. The giantess brought a beautiful harp. It glittered with pure gold. The giantess touched the strings and played a soft, sweet tune by itself. It sang of lost treasures and far-off lands. The music was captivating. Jack could hear the beautiful music of the giant's land. The giant sat and listened to the giantess play the harp. The music lulled the angry giant. And so his eyelids grew heavy. His massive head slumped. The loud snoring started again. The giantess rushed to regurgitate little Jack back up her throat, without much notice to Jack. Take the harp. Oh, run. Jack climbed out of her mouth quickly. He grabbed the golden harp. As soon as his hands touched the harp, it stopped playing the music. The sudden stop of music woke the giant. He looked up and saw the small boy with his golden harp. He let out a terrifying, hungry bellow. Jack ran. He dashed out the castle door. The giant stumbled up and followed. Jack reached the beanstalk and started his descent. The giant reached the edge and yelled as Jack slid down the beanstalk. The giantess stood at the far side of the great hall. She stood still, watching with a mixture of terror and hope. Jack slid down the massive stalk faster than ever before. He held the beautiful singing harp tight against his body for fear it would slide out of his arms. Finally, Jack reached the ground. His mother was awaiting his presence outside the cottage. She was chopping wood with a small axe, unaware of what adventure Jack was experiencing. Mother! Axe! Chop the stalk! Hurry! Jack screamed. The ground started to shake, causing an earthquake. The giant was climbing down the beanstalk. Jack could see his massive hand reach down through the clouds. Jack's mother grabbed the axe. She swung it with all her strength, cutting deep into the base of the thick green stalk. She continued whacking at the beanstalk over and over. At first she didn't think she was making much of a difference. The beanstalk was so thick and tough. But alas, the beanstalk started to sway. And then it began to crack. And finally it snapped. The huge stalk crashed to the ground, shaking the entire countryside. Jack and his mother watched. They knew the giant was gone forever. They were safe. Jack never climbed the beanstalk again. He did not need to. The golden harp played beautiful music that soothed his mother and brought them happiness. Its music sold for a high price in the town square. Jack missed the kind giantess. He thought about her often. She risked everything for a small, hungry boy. He bought a small white dove. Jack wrote a short letter to his friend and tied the paper to the dove's leg. To the kind lady in the clouds. I'm safe, thank you. He released the bird and watched it fly up high until it vanished into the clouds. The next day the dove returned. A tiny scroll of paper was tied to its leg. You must never come back. I am sad, but I am safe. I hope your mother is happy. Jack and the giantess never saw each other again. They continued to send letters by dove. Jack wrote of his life and all the wonders the giantess's gifts had bestowed upon Jack and his mother. The giantess wrote of the quiet, cloudy land of the giants. Jack and his mother lived a long, prosperous life. The kindness of a lonely giantess in the clouds made them rich. Their friendship stretched across the sky, and Jack and his mother's life was changed forever.